we're finally getting into it. But hello, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Motorsport. It has been a extremely hot minute since we last did a pod. We've done a lot since then, as we noticed on our live. We travelled around Australia since our last pod. Got some cool stories to tell, but maybe we'll tell that another day, because I want to talk about specifically the Supercar Finals with the BP Adelaide Grand Final, and also just a little hint of F1, just a bit of a brief mention about it. Alex,
is there a lot?
Welcome back.
Mate,
there is a lot.
I interrupted you before you even introduced me. Hello, we're back. How good. We've got too many things to talk about, and we need to get off our chest, and we can't annoy our families anymore. So we just need to do it now.
What do you mean we can't annoy our families anymore? That's annoying. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, we're here. It doesn't matter. F1 and Supercars. You know, the timing of this, though, is actually awesome, because we have the comparison of, does the finals work, or does the old-fashioned normal championship work with no finals?
That is true.
So let's dive into it.
That is true. Might as well. So, obviously, if you don't know, for starters, if you want to listen to more of our shenanigans, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the likes, and check out our social media: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, probably something else. But we are live on TikTok as well if you're watching this on YouTube. So if you ever do want to be part of this, ask a question while we're filming, be sure to check it out TikTok. But yeah, obviously the Repco Supercars Championship concluded last week. We were there as media. Once again, which was a cool experience. Always really cool to get an up-close personal look of the sport, and actually makes you appreciate it and have a look at it from a different angle, Alex.
Oh, absolutely.
But just for initial thoughts, what were your thoughts of the finals?
If you don't like Brock Feeney, it's awesome. If you do, I'm sorry. Genuinely sorry. Like, I actually felt bad. Like, really bad. Really, really bad. But if you don't like Brock Feeney, or you support another team, it's killer. It's so cool. There was so much action, and you couldn't stop watching because something was about to happen. And it just threw up a massive curveball. Which, unfortunately for Brock Feeney fans, you don't like curveballs. You like strikes. But, look, you're on the fence. You're either on one side of the fence, or you're on the other side of the fence. And there's no in between.
No, well put. That's the whole point of the finals, That's purely designed to cause chaos like what we saw. It is designed to create headlines. And even though if it might be unfair, it's not as rewarding as compared to what we're used to. But that's the reality of the finals. It could be worse. It could straight up be like NASCAR, and whoever wins on Sunday is crowned champion. At least we have some sort of point system. But still.
Look, that part is good because, obviously NASCAR only did one race. So, I guess there's probably a bit more harsher on a championship leader, let's say. So, we won't dive into NASCAR because it's too complicated and there's too many races. But the inspiration from it, I think they've done well to take inspiration from it, but not copy it. And I think they've done that nicely.
Well, given how it's the first year of the finals, I think they did a really excellent job at executing it.
Yeah.
It did what it was meant to do. It created a huge amount of excitement. Obviously throughout the season, it was kind of a bit lackluster here and there, but once we got from Bathurst onwards, you felt a different energy, different atmosphere. There was a lot more exciting racing, and we saw a lot of the drivers actually putting all elbows out. We saw with Cam Waters and Matt Payne at Sandown, obviously Ryan Wood pretty much the whole entire time. Yep. It was really cool to see, and going to this year's BP Adelaide Grand Final compared to last year's Adelaide race, the energy was so different. It was more alive, more energetic. Yes, obviously ticket sales increased by 50% or whatever. It had something to do with the concert as well. But the energy and the atmosphere there, you could tell it was really, really massive. And I thought that was a really fantastic experience, personally.
Yeah, and comparing that to the last couple of years that we've been and had the privilege of going to, it felt dead in the last couple of years. Obviously, we're like Will Brown won last year, and basically all he needed to do was finish to clinch the championship, which is the same thing that happened last night in the F1. So, and we've heard a few rumors from there that it was a bit of a snooze fest at the track and not very entertaining. So Supercars have nailed that. I mean, the Adelaide 500 always brings in a crowd, and always is listed as the best event of the year. And having these finals just took that to another level. And I think also they nailed the support categories. You know, there's some that aren't great, and they've nailed the ones that had there this year. We saw championship fights go down to the very last corner of the support categories. So yeah, the event was awesome. The finals were great, unless you like Brock Feeney.
Yeah, no. See, I like Brock Feeney, right? But I like
So
Chaz
do
Monster
I.
as well. So my mentality coming into the finals, I wasn't really fast. I was actually happy whoever wins.
Yeah.
I do feel for Brock and Red Bull. They, worked so hard all season. They were the team to beat. But the reality is, you see, like, they dominated from all the way to Bathurst, right? But once they got to Bathurst, actually, sorry, once they got to the bend, that's when it started to go a bit downhill. And Chaz was able to utilize the finals and actually maximize his performance. And he was the one to perform. And people might say, yeah, that's unfair. But the reality is, you work so hard all year, but you've got at least two of the toughest tracks around Australia. You've got the Gold Coast Circuit and Adelaide Circuit, which is no easy feat. It's concrete jungle.
No.
And only the toughest and most talented driver can actually succeed around there. And in a way, winning a title rewards them for it.
The thing is, you got to think about it now. If anyone on TikTok is an AFL fan, or anyone listening to this is an AFL, or even NRL, whatever sport basically that involves a ball, you have to. There's grand finals. You have to get to the grand final and then be the best on that day. Now, Motorsport up until now didn't do that. It was just the best, and then at the end of the season, you crown a winner. There was
It's about being there all year.
Yeah, there was no finals system in Motorsport that would make this type of situation come up. Unless, there was, like in F1, 3 drivers fighting for the championship on the last day. But let's be honest, that doesn't happen very often. As we saw the last 3 years, Max's championships, all of them were done. I think he won one with 5 rounds to go, didn't he? A couple of years ago?
Yeah, well, 2021 was literally the last year we had a battle.
Yeah. So could you imagine if you're an AFL NRL fan going to a game in round 18 and knowing that someone's already won a championship? You wouldn't go. You wouldn't be entertained. It wouldn't get views. So what Supercars have done is something very clever. It got the views, it got the drama, and it got a champion. Whether you agree or not who the champion was, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's done its job, which is all that Supercars would be thinking about.
It sold tickets. It did exactly what it was meant to do.
Exactly.
And it showed. And the thing is, even the drivers, even Scott McLaughlin posted on Twitter throughout the weekend, he loved it. He was actually on board with it. He was traumatized by the PTSD from 2017.
Do you have to keep bringing that up?
Yeah. I'm never not going to bring it up.
I have
should I mention
collection
the fact
of I have a collection of McLaughlin models cars on my shelf right next to me. I'm constantly reminded.
Should I mention the
stop bringing
2015 race as well? 2015 when he didn't have a good weekend there either.
Yes, he spun out on the warm-up lap right in front of me. Actually, Lockie, my mate, if you're watching, he was there.
Right in front of me. You know that meme.
Sure. Far out. Anyway, while we're taking this break of tormenting me, if you're on TikTok and you want to ask us a question about anything, feel free to get the comments, write whatever you want. We've had a few questions asking. We had one from Zach. Do you guys think Oscar deserved the championship over Lando? Well, this is the thing we're talking about with the finals. Did Chaz deserve a championship over Brock?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the F1 saga doesn't really relate to the Supercars saga because McLaren did their own trauma. And they
and I want to
butchered
get
it.
into the F1.
Yeah, we'll do that later. But
Yeah, we'll do that later. But
the answer is we always think Oscar deserved the championship over Lando, especially you.
I'm going to get into detail. All right, that's why I want. Let's push that aside for a minute because I want to get into detail about that.
If you're on TikTok, put a comment in.
Yeah, because we're all watching. We're all live here. I got my little iPad down here, and you've got your some. I don't know what you got. But let's talk about the Adelaide race itself. Obviously, what'd you say? 6-7.
I got 6. Oh, for God's sakes. Have you actually got a question about the race?
Oh, there you go. Do you guys know what was wrong with Feeney's car from Keithball? Apparently a crank sensor was the issue for Brock's
It sounded like fireworks going off.
It didn't sound good. According to Scott Pye, by the way, they had a similar issue at the Sandown Ride Day.
Yes.
Wow, which was interesting. And then Saturday it happened again.
So you're telling me they had this issue for a month?
Well, yeah, last 2 weeks, yeah. But problem was it was inconsistent.
Right.
So Saturday, we watched it on Sunday. It was kept cutting in and out. Like, it was not consistent whatsoever. And Saturday was the case as well, because I think midway through the race it started happening, and then it stopped after a while. And apparently, according to Scott Pye, even if they were to replace the whole engine, that probably wouldn't have fixed it. Because I did make a comment, like, they should have replaced the whole engine just in case, to guarantee a position to win it. But
no, not good enough.
It is what it is. It's just heartbreak,
It's
one of those
things
in motor racing.
It's crazy how sensor can destroy a championship.
Yeah.
And actually,
it's crazy how a sensor can make that noise too, ruin the car that much.
Speaking of other pods and other oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Other people talking about this race. Will Brown and is it the Lucky Dogs they call it?
The Lucky Dogs pod,
with Kostaki.
Yeah.
They were talking about how old the engines are now. They're a couple years old. They've done a couple of seasons. Everyone's was on the last edge of performance before. I'm assuming they're all going to get new ones if they're all talking about how old they are. So it's like they should have had a service like that. It could have just been as simple as that. I'm sure they have.
Or they should have replaced engines between Sandown and. But again, they wouldn't have at the time. They wouldn't have probably thought twice.
They wouldn't
about
have known. No. Look, you'd imagine we obviously were at the track, but you would imagine that they would have spent hours looking at something on Saturday night, knowing that something's happened during the Saturday race. Let's avoid it for Sunday, and then it ended up getting worse and cost Brock the championship. Well, something else cost Brock a championship, but that didn't help.
In fairness, actually, I disagree with you with that one. Because I reckon if he didn't have the engine issue, even if Ryan would spun him around, he would have easily made up those positions. He had a quick car, and he was the driver to beat. We saw in qualifying how fast he was. By the way, how incredible is his qualifying record? 19 pole positions across 34 races or so, or 35
They said
races.
McLaughlin's wouldn't be beat. He's beaten it by 2 or 3.
By 2?
Yeah.
I think... No, Scotty got 16 or 17?
I think it was 17, because it matched the car number,
something
I'm
like
pretty
sure. Yeah, okay. That's what I mean. It goes back to saying, it goes back with the finals saying, it's sort of unfortunate for Brock, but hey, it is what it is. Chaz, he's worked 12 years to get to this moment. Walkinshaw has spent the last 3 years getting the Mustang right, and now they're getting rid of it in favour for the Toyota. But Ryan Wood, I want to before we talk about the Ryan Wood versus Brock Feeney sort of incident, just a question here from Sassy Kiwi. Hello, good evening from New Zealand. It's cool to have people across. Who is Will Davison signed with? So, if you don't know, Will Davison officially retired from full-time racing at the end of the season, and he has signed with, drumroll please, Alex. That was disappointing. Penrite Racing. He has taken over. You're fired. Garth
I did it.
Spot.
You just didn't hear me.
Oh, well, I heard you, and it was pathetic. I'm kidding.
Thanks.
No, he signed with Penrite Racing for next season. I don't know who he's co-driving with. I'm saying Matt Payne. All I know is he's signed with them. But Dale Wood's also out too, I believe. So it looks like we're getting a new fresh face at Penrite next year as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I honestly... Courtney's with Team 18. He's with Team 18.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
He's going back with Charlie and Adrian.
And Percat's going.
Saw an article, but no information on the contract. Yeah, okay, yeah. I've only seen a headline, really, to be honest. So
I think it's.
No, he signed with Penrite.
It's a multi-year. I think it's
probably. But I honestly thought he would have gone to Tickford, because Frosty's at Tickford as well. James Moffat has announced he's leaving. That would have been a perfect thing. The old teammates back together again, mentoring the young guns, and we've seen how well that has, worked in Super 2. Even our good mate Ruben Goodall, he's done really well this season as well. Lockie Dalton, Ryland Gray, who of course won, and of course he's heading to DJR next year, taking Davo's spots. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But back to Ryan Wood versus Brock Feeney. We actually had a discussion on this on Sunday in the media room. I just whacked my leg, and I don't know if the mic picked that up, so I have to fix that up. But
no idea.
What did you think?
Mate, you saw if you've seen our reels from the weekend, you saw my reaction to it pretty much live, like 10 seconds later when Ivan started recording. I was gobsmacked. Completely gobsmacked. You kind of knew it was coming, but you just didn't think it was actually going to happen. And so quickly. I was getting deja vu from when Brock spun Chaz last year. But, oh man, talk about drama. Oh my God.
Well, who's to blame?
Don't look at me. Brock.
You're the only one here. Brock, okay.
Okay. No, it was a bit of both. I'm on both sides. Woody was very ambitious, but Brock didn't leave enough room, I don't think. And he knew it was coming. All he had to do, I think you said it was he had to finish 8th or something. If Chaz
He was in a decent position.
He didn't have to fight anyone. He could have literally just drove behind Chaz the entire race, like he did on Saturday. Although it sounds like he had no choice with that because of the car. Actually, there's been a comment from Hannah, welcome, who's written... she's actually written a few things, praying Penrite dominate next year. But the next one she's written, the only thing I didn't like was the Walkinshaw reaction after it happened. I agree with that. That looked extremely suspicious.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Even Brody on the Lucky Dogs pod mentioned that it didn't look good. You don't really cheer someone crashing someone out, even before you know who's at blame. Because in my opinion, it was equally both their fault. Brock, Ryan, should have backed off. But the thing is, if you back off as a driver, you're not really a driver, are you? He obviously saw a move, give it risk at all. Brock, however, he did slightly turn, but only slightly, It's one of those things. But realistically, Brock should have thought about, long rate. This is literally lap 1. 23-point gap between myself and Chaz. He's coming down the inside. I should just let him go. Yes, I might lose a couple spots because I'm stuck on the outside, but it's still 78 laps to go. Anything can happen. Eventually pass him back in a couple laps time because he did have the pace. Although obviously we know the engine gave way, but it's one of those things, and Ryan, he is a brilliant talent. He's going to be a champion. I gutted that he missed out in the finals because of mechanical failures and so forth. But it's just, I love the racing. I love that moment. It was dramatic. It was exciting. But yeah.
Well, the funny part, off camera before the weekend started, when we were saying who's going to win, I had a gut feeling that Red Bull having 2 drivers in the finals was going to haunt them. Because let's put it into perspective. If Walkinshaw had 2 drivers in their team, I guarantee Ryan Wood would never have made that move. Ever. He never would have made that move unless it's on lap 78 of the race to go for the title. to go on lap 1 and dive bomb someone, knowing that it's going to end in disaster. Yeah, just think about it. Like, they would never have done that. The plan would never have happened. The fact that Will Brown was in the finals, he didn't fight Chaz at all because he had his own championship to worry about just in case something happened to him and Brock and he could have won the championship, which almost happened.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just having the teammates help proved unbelievably pivotal.
Mm. Hannah just put a comment here. Do you think if Brock stayed in his position and got the engine problems, he would have won?
We've lost Daniel.
Sorry, my cousins tried to call me.
We have lost a Daniel.
Can't trust him. Yeah, no, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're back.
My cousin tried calling me. Unbelievable. Look, live still saw me here. But Hannah, I'm assuming you're meaning if Brock never got spun around, could he have won with the engine issue? Unfortunately, we were watching lap by lap on Natsoft the speed difference. He was dropping, like he was 10 to 20k an hour slower than everyone. He was, and we saw that with if you looked. There was a moment, I think you saw it as well, when Cam Waters and him were neck and neck with each other. But once they got to turn 7 and hit the straight, Cam was pulling away. It got as low. So for context, these cars average their top speed around the speed trap, which I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure that's about just before turn 8.
Correct.
Is 232k an hour is the top speed, the fastest speed of the weekend, the most average speed for majority of the drivers. Brock did 195 at one point. Now compare that to 233. That's a big difference. So unfortunately, I reckon he would have lost regardless, whether he got spun around or not. But yeah, it is what it is. It's really unfortunate.
It would have been extremely close. Extremely close. Look, let's be honest. That 196 didn't happen every lap. It was just one of them. But no. It was about roughly the 214s, 210s.
Yeah.
But
there was average. A point where it went from 230 to 220, back to 230, 214, 230. It sort of did like a back-to-back sort of thing. But then towards the pinball. Towards the back end of the race, though, it did that as well, but instead, this time the max speed was 214 or 220. He never really got up to the 230. Yeah. So, it's not really unfortunate.
No, it does suck. And unfortunately, mechanical issues happen, and you just don't know when they're going to pop up. It happens literally at the worst time. But I will say, a bit off topic, but I was a bit worried when Larko ran up to Brock and wanted to say hello, because I was like, this is a really bad time. But credit to Brock. He had great sportsmanship and pulled himself together to have a quick chat and thank just his fans and his team, which was really, really cool. Awesome for Brock. Awesome from Brock in that regard. Because to be honest, because where we were sitting in the media room was literally above their garage, and I didn't see him come out of the car. So no joke, I thought he was in the car for 3 minutes, just upset. But turns out,
I think he got out of the car quicker.
I must have not looked for 2 seconds, and he jumped out. So
we missed. Just want to shout out Sassy Kiwi again. Huge fan. Huge supercar fan, been travelling to the Gold Coast every year since 2018, which is awesome. Alex, you've been to the Gold Coast event multiple times, I believe. I'm still yet to go. Yeah, there it is. I want to point her out as well because she sent, she sent a heart or something on TikTok.
A gift, thank you.
So thanks for that. Don't really know.
Yeah, I have been.
It's been a while since I've been on TikTok.
I have been to the GC race. I've only been once. It was 2023, I think it was. I liked it. I liked it. It was just quite difficult to get around the precinct with all the buildings in the way. If they just get rid of the skyscrapers, it'd be easy. That'd be a lot easier to get around. Hannah's asked what events we're planning on attending next year. Well, I'll be honest, the Adelaide ones are the only ones we can easily attend.
Well, the Bend and Adelaide so far. We'll lock that in because
they're easy.
In terms, it's really hard because obviously we got our LTM media side of things, so we will be back with AU4 again, and we'll see what we can do throughout the year in terms of what events. But we'd love to attend multiple rounds. That'd be cool. You had the pleasure to go to Perth earlier this year, which is cool. So it'll be really. It's too early to work out what we're doing. We'll usually work it out as we go, really. But
Actually,
it'd be cool to check out as many as we can.
Quick news update regarding the Perth round. Apparently, the street circuit's been delayed another year, so I think 2028 is now the idea for that. But shout out to Wanneroo Raceway, or Barbagallo, whatever you call it. That was a really cool experience just to go there, and it's really in the middle of nowhere. It's a giant dead end. But at the time, thanks for Aussie Racing Cars for sending us there, because that was a good weekend and something I would have never done.
It's a really cool
otherwise.
track, eh?
Yeah, and getting around it is the access there. Everything's literally in the one spot behind the grandstand. Literally everything's there. Unless you got a GA ticket, which is around the hill. But yeah, no, good event. A few more comments coming in. What do we got here? And Keith asked, it sort of reminds me of Shane with the starter issue at Bathurst when he was leading. Yes, that's true. That was bad.
Yeah, hey.
So hang on, if he didn't stall, it was he stalled. That's the reason why it didn't start, right? Or if he didn't stall, it would have been fine. Yeah.
Okay. Because he could have won that race. I still remember that. 11 years ago now. That was such a dramatic way to end the race. Yeah.
Hannah's written in that she's attending Townsville, Ipswich, Bathurst, and the Gold Coast. 600, 500.
Nice. Those are some good choices.
Good list.
We've had the pleasure of
Queensland.
I guess so, but we've had the pleasure of going to Bathurst and Queensland this year. Not for supercars, but just being there in general, and that was really cool. I think. Do you know what's crazy? The last time we did a pod, we never went to Bathurst.
God. Or Perth, or Ipswich,
in the
or a
space.
few more.
No, it's funny. Since we last did a pod, I've been to Sydney 4 times.
Yeah,
I've been to Sydney Motorsport Park 3 times. Yes, it's really cool.
And Bathurst.
That's why we've sort of been offline for quite a while.
Yeah. You know what though? We are gonna bring it back more often. We have to.
Yeah.
Even if
the whole point of doing this pod today, it's more relaxed, a different vibe, different perspective heading into the pods, and we really want to bring it back for next season as well. Just to share our experience, but also share our thoughts and opinions of supercars and F1, or whatever we want, really.
Yes.
But
what's next topic, Daniel?
We have gone completely off topic. Let's go. So just talk about some. Should we? Okay, I'll let you choose. Should we talk about the new changes coming to finals? No, we'll do that.
Yeah, because otherwise the other option's F1. I'm like, that's a bit off topic. Yeah,
we'll talk about. Hannah's so done with the F1 season. Yeah, me too.
So are we.
We'll get into that. But
Stick
let's talk
around
about
for more.
what. So, Supercars have made some new changes to the Repco finals next year. Very minor changes. And then what we'll talk about, I guess, is if there's anything you thought, you wish they change. Obviously let us know. Alex, you let me know. But starting off with the bonus points for the Final Four. So this year's system, first place got 50 points, second place got 30, third points got 15, and fourth got 0. New system, first place will have 150, second place will have 120, third is 96 points, and fourth is 78 points. So I think from my understanding, that's the points heading into Adelaide, by the way. Heading into the final round.
I'm going to get the article.
But I think from what I read is what... Yes, go on.
Hang on. So that means this year, the gaps were
50, 30, 15.
Smaller.
Or something. Yeah, the gaps weren't that big. Yeah.
Which, in my mind, doesn't that just make it more boring, slightly?
What, spreading out the points a bit?
Yes, because the whole reason why Chaz won was because he was so close.
Well, yeah, but the thing is with... I get you. The thing is with...
sorry to cut you off, but having let's take the gap. Ignore the first to second gap, which was originally 20. Now it's 30. The gap from first to fourth was 50, and now it's 72. If my maths is correct.
Yeah, but that's it's basically to avoid what happened on Sunday to some degree.
Okay.
I think it's just to adjust. It's to make it whoever is in the lead a bit more. Now, the reason I think they should do better is because I listened to Apex Pod when they reviewed the final system, and what I liked, they came up with the idea of what if there's more incentive on the Sprint Cup winner getting like additional points or getting like 150 points or something.
Right.
Basically guaranteeing them a final spot in Adelaide. Because the problem with the finals is, and I got to agree with a lot of the people, and it's not just Apex who have said this, it's others as well. Because of the finals now, right, and and because Chaz won the championship, not Brock, does the Sprint Cup matter anymore? Is it worth watching?
That is a good point.
And it's a good point. But what they should do is, and they haven't done this, by the way, basically what they have done is whoever wins the Sprint Cup and Enduro Cup, you get 25 bonus points, which I think we saw this year from memory. Unless they get none. They just got secured into the finals. I can't really remember. But what they should do is, one, either have whoever wins the Sprint Cup gets promoted to Adelaide, like straight up to Adelaide. So you don't have to stress. You can just build up some points for Gold Coast and Sandown.
Right.
So at least, there's some reason you want to make sure you're on top for the Sprint Cup. Or
so what you're saying is sorry.
Yes.
So what you're saying is, on that basis, then you have one driver, let's say it was Brock go directly straight to Adelaide, and then from Sandown to Adelaide you'd have 3 more entries.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So basically, it doesn't affect the points per se heading into Adelaide. It more just secures the fact that you won't get eliminated.
Now, the next question is, how would the bonus points work? Would he be the number one, or would he be? How would that work?
That's a good question.
See, this is why I'll be honest. I don't like the Supercars point system. Full stop. It's weird.
They're inconsistent and rubbish.
It's kind of dumb, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I actually love the F1 one. If you don't score points, if you don't finish top 10, you don't get a point. Why should you get points for coming 19th? There's no emphasis on it. And the worst part is if you were a winner somehow in the finals, then you just automatically go in. Like, it's just a bit weird.
Hannah agrees. She said in caps, "I hate the point system in Supercars. Preach it," because yeah, we agree. We don't like it either. It's so inconsistent.
It's complicated, man. I've been watching Supercars for the whole of my life, and I still don't know how it works. I still have no idea.
That's why I haven't. We're talking about the pod. I have no clue what's going on.
I've no idea how point system works in this country. Just full stop, like everywhere.
And do you know what's made it worse? The Friday race in Adelaide. The Friday race had 50 points for the winner. Saturday, Sunday had 125 each. So it all added up to 300. But see, it just goes back to the best. By the way, Hannah, thanks for you did send. I saw you sent a gift. So thanks for that.
Well. Thank you.
Much appreciated. Now I've pressed something here.
Dude, it's just
it requires a degree.
Dude, it actually requires like a TAFE course to work out how this works. I don't know how it works. I don't really necessarily care, to be honest. But no, the problem is with what you suggested. If the Sprint Cup winner goes straight to the Adelaide, then look, that would give incentive. I agree. But then what if that driver wins one of the races in the finals? It would just go.
Maybe they just get the bonus points with it. I don't know. I haven't thought that far yet.
One thing NASCAR does is with their finals, their points go to 0 after every step. So let's say
each round, yeah.
Gold Coast, it's 0 for all 10 drivers. Sandown, 0 for all 7 drivers. Adelaide, 0 for all 4 drivers. That part they do correctly, because then it's whoever's the best on the weekend in total. Now, shout out to Kai Allen for getting into the finals, but no offense, he had no hope of winning this unless everyone had a bad weekend. He literally needed everyone to finish outside of 20 for him to have a shot, and he'd still need to win. Whereas the NASCAR thing, yes, it's a bit BS in the fact that you could be terrible all year and have one good race and just beat your opponents. That's how I thought it was going to work. Yes, exactly. That's how I thought it was going to work. It needs to go to 0. F the bonus points. What bonus points need to exist? Just seriously, just piss them off. It's not needed. They are so not needed. So just have them go straight to 0, and whoever's better on that weekend wins. Simple.
Yeah. That's not. I like that.
It's not just difficult.
Yeah.
Because Kai
well,
had 2 top 5 finishes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or even 3, actually. I think he had all 3.
He had a few. Yeah, no, he did well. He actually did really well in Adelaide.
And he was never going to win the championship. Never. That part I don't like. Anyway, I just ranted.
Could you imagine if
saying everyone agrees? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Sassy says should invite a driver in to explain the point system. I don't think they even.
I don't think they even.
Especially Will Brown.
We should invite Davey Reynolds in. By the way, we were in the media room where they did the where they do the
press conference.
Press conferences. Thank you.
Press conference. Yeah.
Thank you. And Davey swore for 4 times, including an F-bomb. And he
I just remember him staring at us.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was shitting myself for a bit there.
Is he like us? Are we attractive? Like, why is he staring at us? And then he just looked away. I was like, okay, never mind. He was looking at you more than me.
I'll take that.
Yeah, no, we need.
Thanks, Dave.
Sorry, Sassy Kiwi, but we love David Reynolds. Like, he's just the funniest bloke. He'd be the best guest. He deserves a pension.
He's due to receive his pension.
Sorry, like he's the funniest guy. Last year, just for context, really if you weren't a fan of us last year, I asked all the drivers their favorite emoji, and he was the first person and said it very quickly that his favorite emoji was the eggplant. Straight up. Just immediately.
Yeah.
No hesitation, no comedy, just said it straight away. I love David Reynolds. He's awesome. He's awesome.
Back to the supercars. All right. Actually, before we get back into the old new rules, you know how NASCAR whoever wins the.
Sorry, that's my video.
Yeah, that was ours. Yeah,
that was good.
I went to go find it, but it was so good. I went to go find it the other day, but you have to scroll for about a week to get it.
Yeah.
But
you should have pinned it.
Basically, yeah, well, I didn't think of that, did I?
No.
But anyway, you know how NASCAR rewards winners, and you get into playoff if you win. This, again, you won't like this idea because based off the fact that he said they'll be boring because of the points and sort of eliminates the fact that finals exist. If the Sprint Cup could reward race winners somehow with maybe bonus points or something, do you reckon that will make the Sprint Cup more exciting?
No.
Okay, you heard it here first. Next question.
The reason why I'm saying that is because I don't like the word bonus. Full stop.
Okay, well, you're not getting a bonus at the end of the year.
I've worked out tonight. Oh, damn it! I do like the word bonus. Good one. But basically,
hey, Kobe's joined. Sorry.
Sup, Kobe?
Kobe.
How
you doing, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Basically, isn't the point of winning is you get the most points? But my beef with the Sprint Cup is you need to change the point system to make it more rewarding. Right? Max Verstappen almost won the championship last night from 16 points back purely by winning the race. Right? Because there was a big enough gap in the championship. sorry, in the points you receive for your positions to warrant that. Whereas supercars don't have that. It goes from like 150
I'm just
to 136.
Googling the point system.
Oh, so it takes about a year to find it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, the guy who finishes 20th almost gets a third of the amount of points the winner does. That's just stupid. Hang on, you've gone stressed. Are you okay? You gone red. Are you okay? He searched up the point system.
I am looking at. You can't even see it. But look at the monstrosity.
That's old.
Jeez,
I found that before. That's old.
But still, it's... Oh, God. Oh, God. 2023. But still, 100, 150, 100... Why?
What's the gap between... What's the points between 1st and 17th? What's the number?
In 17th? So 1st to 17th? That's what you're asking, right?
Yes.
What? What?
The comment has just got me in stitches from Sassy Kiwi. What is that?
Okay, fun story. This will relate to Hannah as well. Because she said that she's got a baby to put to sleep, which is fair enough. I have a 5-year-old. One day when he was about 2 or 3, we put that on the wall, on the roof. It's a glow-in-the-dark dinosaurs.
Oh.
I can't get it off now.
So your 2-year-old, is he 6'4"? How did he reach? I'm joking. I know you're.
There's no such thing as 6'4" in my family. I'm the size of Will Brown. All right.
I love the toilet paper remark from Sassy Kiwi because I don't know if you did that at school. Toilet paper and water, so I stuck it on the wall. It's a good gag. Anyway, off topic. Let's continue.
I mean, that sums up the point system pretty well, hey?
Yeah, I just don't care enough to know how it works. Sorry, right, so what was the points from 1st to 17th?
All right, so it depends on what round you're looking at. So we've got 150. By the way, this is 2023 spec. I can't find anything new. 150 and 54. So about over 100. Under 100. Difference.
The problem I have with that is when you have 1,000, like 3,000 points champion.
Yes.
That's nothing. That's no difference. Why? Stop doing this.
And then on a normal weekend, I don't know.
What's normal mean?
What a normal weekend is. I don't know. 75 sprint round, I suppose. 75 points is for 1st, but 27 points is for 17th. It gets better for Bathurst. Are you ready?
Oh, no.
So, 300 points for Bathurst for winning. 17th, you get 108. And in comparison, that's more than 6th place on a normal round.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's so stupid. Anyway, let's not have a strunk. Let's go back to the new rules. So basically, one of the big changes to next year's finals, I can't believe we're still on this topic, but it'll be morning by the time we're done. Yeah, pretty much. So when it comes to bonus points, your favourite thing. So if you get eliminated from the finals, let's say Ryan Wood has bad luck again, gets eliminated from Gold Coast, his points will revert back to his points from Bathurst. But you will have the additional points you collected along the way.
What?
So you know how... No. So, this is just sums up. You know how Supercars, you know how this point system, you get bonus points each time you're in the finals to guarantee the other cars can't catch you?
Yeah, the part that I don't like.
They had 1,000. Imagine that, but if you get eliminated, you actually get that bonus part taken away from you. So let's say 1,000 point. Okay, everyone, listen.
Is everyone just as confused as me who's watching?
Yeah, Bathurst, right? End of Bathurst, you go to Gold Coast. The finalists get 1,000 points, right?
Right.
and let's say you get an extra 150 along the way, but you didn't make the finals. You get eliminated. Okay? Are you
Okay.
with me? You lose that 1,000, but you keep that 150.
So you can
And
go
the reason
up
they're
from
doing this,
8th to 7th.
but yeah, basically all it does, one, obviously you can't progress further more in the finals, but two, it shut up. It creates the opportunity for you to actually lose positions. So let's say Ryan Wood gets eliminated in 5th. He has the potential to actually finish 10th or 11th, depending on... So other drivers can actually move up in the standings.
Okay, not gonna lie, isn't that how it worked before?
No.
So what happened before?
So
You just
before
stuck. You
now is
stuck
when
to
they
where
get...
you were.
Yeah, if they got the bonus 1,000, they stayed with that bonus 1,000.
So you're saying that everyone who basically finished from 10th to 4th had no options to improve their standings.
No
in
one
the
was
last
able
3
to
rounds.
move. See, Ryan Wood finished 10th because of it in the standings, even though he was
Okay, good
most
news.
at the
I'm
front
less
majority
confused.
of the time.
Good news is I'm less confused. Bad news is that's stupid. That is dumb. Why is that? Because isn't there prize money that?
It's just to eliminate the fact that Ryan Wood, for example, finished 10th, even though he was on the podium multiple times in Adelaide, for example. Like he probably could have finished 5th or 6th realistically, on
That's
a normal
dumb.
standing sort of thing. But it is dumb. It's supercars. What'd you expect? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank God.
Thank God. I need a
There's new.
Panadol.
Oh, hang on. There's a new tiebreaker rule.
Oh God, there's no more rules.
Yeah, so previously there was no tiebreaker rule for either Sprint Cup or Enduro Cup. Sprint Cup tie, if there's a tie for the Sprint Cup, the most race wins decides that.
Isn't that just common
Enduro
sense?
Cup tie, if there's a tie for Enduro Cup, yeah, it does make sense. The best Bathurst finishing position decides that one. So there you go. That's all you
Right.
need.
So what if you have a bad Bathurst and you have a great the bend?
Well, then
Like Brody
you're
just
unlucky. Then unlucky, champ. You don't win the Enduro Cup.
Are there any jobs on Seek for Supercars point system? Because I'll happily apply.
Yeah, it says here you need a bachelor's degree of maths.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Maybe they should lose the points if they lose their wing mirror.
Oh, yeah. You would get bonus points if you finish with 2 mirrors.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
Or a curb hop
God.
in a Gold Coast or Adelaide. They lose 100 points per curb hop.
We just lost all
That'd
of
be
our
disaster.
viewers because we have to do maths.
Pretty much. I'm surprised we have 5. So thanks for everyone listening, tuning in still.
Daniel's
Sorry
just confused the hell out of us from these dumb rules.
If it makes you feel better, I have no idea what I said.
Oh God, kill me.
Let's have a quick break, okay? Before we get into the F1 stuff. All right, that's pretty much it for the Supercar chat. We've got some fan questions, just some fun ones from Instagram, and if you guys have any questions on TikTok, feel free to put them in. But starting off with Mist Media, so our boy Liam from Pedal Free. Who is your favourite driver from Supercars and Formula One?
Okay. Right now it's Chaz Mossett.
Okay.
Not because I won the championship. Ever since McLaughlin left.
Let's change this up a bit. Let's do a current one and an all-time one.
I just said them.
Go. Yeah, I know, but I'm... God damn.
I just said them. Chaz now, McLaughlin before.
And what about Formula One?
I'm
never doing that.
Ricardo before. I didn't see what you did. I'm glad I didn't. AF, write in comments. Yeah, you can answer the questions too. Ricardo all time, I guess. And current, I guess Oscar, but to put it into perspective, before last night, which was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, I didn't watch a live Grand Prix since Monaco because it was just BS and boring. So that's my outlook on on F1. But Yeah, I guess Oscar because it's Aussie. I do like obviously Ferrari. I'm an Italian background, so I'm depressed. But and then another fan favorite, Carlos. I love Carlos. I like Alex, got the same name as me. I got a few. I'll be honest. I'm kind of one of those fans that just watches F1 because it's F1. I don't really have a favorite. Like if someone said you had to buy that merch because they're your favorite, I'll be like, okay, just give me a Piastri hat or whatever.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
yours?
So I got to say Chaz as well. You can't go wrong with Chaz. You know, he's the people's driver. All time probably has to be Craig Lowndes.
That's fair.
I grew up watching him. You know, him and J Dub going neck and neck, being teammates together and whatnot. Once upon a time, I did say Scaife until I listened to his commentary over and over again. Formula One,
Hang on. What would you rather listen to? Someone explain the Supercars point system or listen to Scaife?
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say Scaife.
Or Scaife explain the point system.
And that's where we end our life. That's where we end our pod. It's not coming back. Alex has created nightmares.
He's not going to sleep tonight.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Murph, Sassy. Murph all the way. You know, we met him last year in Adelaide.
We did.
He was such a great bloke, really down to earth. Always open for conversation. It was really cool. I met Lee Diffie as well this last weekend. That was cool. A bit surreal. Really friendly bloke. But back to my drivers. So yeah, Chaz Mostert, whoever said Craig Lowndes, in Formula One, current probably Oscar Piastri. It's kind of hard to pass him.
Yeah.
Although I do like Charles Leclerc. You know, you can't go wrong with him. Unless you're a strategist in Ferrari. All time probably has to be Ayrton Senna. You know, it's kind of hard to pass that one.
The problem I have with that is because we didn't watch him growing up.
Yeah, but I went through a period.
The Schumacher would probably be the best that we ever witnessed.
Yeah, we grew up with Schumi. Yeah, that's true.
I'll be honest. I don't think I was a proper F1 fan until I started playing the video games. So that was 2010. So I don't really remember much of the Schumacher days, if I'm brutally honest. I wish I did. But yeah,
fair enough.
I was a Supercars kid.
Yeah, I was the same.
I think also mainly reason was the time difference. Had a bedtime.
I still have fond memories of Canada 2011.
Oh yeah, good race. Good race.
It was the 4-hour race or whatever.
Yep.
Where Button won that despite getting a couple drive-throughs. Yeah, no, the games definitely helped. I remember playing F1 2013 a lot with the controller, so that was fun. Leslie, our boy. What about that really cool guy, Leslie Reeves? I hear he won the Motor Events Hot Summer Night. He also won, get this, he also won the iRacing Bathurst 12-hour.
All right, move on. We did it a year ago.
With us, by the way. By the way, don't stress Alex. I noticed our Streamlabs or whatever is being a bit buffering, but that's okay. So don't stress. But yeah, he's really cool guy. And post-round dump, our guy, who is the V8 Supercar GOAT and why, this is my favourite part, why is it Jack Smith? Well put, we don't need to answer the rest of that question because it's pretty straightforward, really. He is the GOAT.
Yep.
I won't take any other answers. But that's it in terms of Instagram. If you guys have any questions...
Hang on. So literally your answer to who's a Supercars GOAT is Jack Smith.
Yep. He said, and why is it Jack Smith? And I said, because, there's no other answer.
Just by the way, we've walked past Jack Smith a fair few times at Supercars events, and I've told him to go up to him and tell him, and he's too cheap. So Jack Smith, if you're watching, or, someone send us to Jack Smith, please message Daniel so he can meet him because he wants to meet him.
Thanks a lot. His brother's actually looking to join Supercars too, by the way. Tommy Smith.
Cool. My GOAT would be probably Lowndes. A proper answer.
Okay, let's do a proper answer.
Lowndes or Peterborough, obviously.
I got to say, yeah, definitely. But I got to say J-Dub as well. I know you don't like hearing that. But stats alone, Seven?
Yeah.
7-time Supercar. I got to do my math. Points has really ruined me. I'm a different man after points. Yeah, no, Jay, because I grew up watching J Dub. You know, like he was. I was a team. I was Triple Eight Team Vodafone. You know, I remember going to the Adelaide 500. You know, watching him in the Vodafone car. But yeah, no, I agree. Yep. Good answers there. Any questions before we get into the F1 bit before we wrap up tonight? It has been a longer one than we thought. But
yeah, you said half an hour. This has been an hour, so good. No, if we're going to move on to the F1 chat about the very exciting last race.
Hence, we're not going into results and
sense
whatnot.
The sarcasm.
Skip the F1.
But if you got any questions or comments about last night's, let's call it a race, even though it wasn't.
That was a parade, mate.
Yeah, it was to follow the leader.
That's all it was. The Brazil parade that they had was more exciting.
Dude, no joke. They should just race F1 Lego cars next year. Don't even bother with making.
It was cool.
Yeah, so F1 is great.
Thanks for watching it.
Segment done. We're finished.
Oh, geez. How painful was that race? You know, it was hyped up. You know, we haven't had 3 drivers in contention since 2010.
What'd you call it?
We had the 4 drivers. I don't remember.
I swear you said fridge. Fridge drivers.
Look, I'm okay if I said that. I got to look back. I don't know. I can't deny or agree with that one.
So but, three drivers?
The top 3 drivers in contention to win the title. We haven't seen that since 2010, when we had 4 drivers actually in contention that year. That was extremely boring. It's probably the worst race I've ever seen in my life, and I never want to see it again.
I'm sorry, but
the results ever again either.
I admitted before on the pod that I haven't watched the race from start to end since Monaco, which is sad because that's a boring race. F1, especially now, and thank God these regulations are changing next year, is follow the leader. It's so boring. And I don't quite understand the fathom of it because it is what I just said it is. The only reason why it's been interesting is because McLaren have made it interesting all for the wrong reasons. So,
yep.
Daniel already has lost a lot of sleep thinking about this, so I'm just going to add to it because the season's finished anyway. But the only reason why this championship battle happened was because McLaren wanted Lando to win and Oscar was better. So that's our rant about that. And the fact that Max was in contention is pathetic because that car was god awful. I think the best second driver finish there was Yuki when he finished was 5th. I think, and that was once.
I think so.
That was once, literally once.
Look, the reality is, the only reason he was able to be 2 points away from Lando by the end of this weekend was because of McLaren's poor decisions they made throughout the year.
Yep.
But yeah, Red Bull have really stepped up midway through the year. You know, yep. Max is probably the greatest comeback we've ever seen in Formula One, or at least modern Formula One history. You know, that was unbelievable. You know, and got to give credit to Max as well. He's a changed man since 2021, since we last saw him win the title for the first time. He is so mature, so humbling as well. It's really cool to see. I'm actually I think he gained a lot of fans this year with the way he drove.
I never, to be honest, I never really liked him. I'm not saying I'm a fan of him now, but I loved his answer to the press conference question he got after the race last night regarding the Barcelona incident with George Russell. And then the fact he goes, the guy's now smirking at me. Like, I hate F1 media. I hate F1 media. F1 media is just so
biased and
it just bothers me. And the fact that McLaren drivers got banned from talking to media. It wasn't just Australian media. It was British. It was all of them.
It was British. Yeah, I originally thought it was just Australian one as well.
How pathetic! But how pathetic is the media asking such dumb questions that they have now the reputation that drivers and teams now have to be banned to talk to them. Like, come on, that's just ridiculous.
You know how, going back to their questions about saying, do you remember all the bad times? I think a lot of fans, especially, right, and this happens in supercars as well. You know how the Brock Feeney and Ryan Wood thing keeps going on for ages. They'll be talking about it for years to come. I think they forget the fact that the drivers move on pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think to the point where they actually don't remember what happened.
Actually, I've just answered my own question. You know how I mentioned a couple minutes ago that F1 was boring?
Yes.
It's so boring that media now have nothing to talk about. They have to bring up the past. Yeah. And that's sad because this is the greatest motorsport in the world with the worst racing in the world.
Yeah.
Does no one agree with me on that?
Probably the greatest parade in the world, actually.
I reckon the reason for this is because the cars aren't even. I've said it for years. Just make them. Don't worry about prize money. Worry about prize money for paying people and all that stuff. Cool. But to develop a car, that's just dumb. I'm sorry, but in sports, right? In sports like NFL, NBA, American sports, if you're the worst team, you get rewarded with the best pick in the draft the next year because they want everyone to be close. In F1, it's the opposite. You get the best money for the best result, which I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but it's not going to make it any better the year after.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for those teams like Haas. I reckon Haas are probably the most financially scared team because Williams were, but now they've come good. Kick Sauber's now Audi, so they got a huge backing.
Yeah.
What was the other one I was going to say? Alpine Alpine are technically a manufacturer, even though they're still rubbish. But they have the backing of the money to get where they somehow say they want to go, and then they've gotten there. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't like that. I really don't like it. I think there should be a cap limit on what you can spend for everyone. And I know there is that-ish.
There is, but it's not enough.
No, it's not harsh
because they
enough.
exceed it anyway, and they don't get penalised enough. Because McLaren actually, didn't they get done for?
Yeah, I think Red Bull got done it for years. Red Bull got fined for years about it.
But there's not really a massive punishment for it.
No,
you know, so they just do it anyway and take the L. But the thing is with Formula One, I agree with you. But the thing with Formula One, and the same as with WEC now as well, it's a series designed so that the engineers can do their best job at creating a car. You know, creating the car beyond the limits and within, like, the point of breaking rules. That's what made Formula One so special as well as the drivers. You know, is the cars. 'Cause,
yeah. The problem with breaking the limits is they're so fast that the racing is just now crap. That's the issue, right? Having such fast cars requires the best drivers to drive them, but they've forgotten about the racing. That's all cool, cool to make the cars unbelievably aerodynamic on their own. Yeah. It doesn't. It's just. It's sad. It's sad that qualifying is more entertaining than a race.
Yeah,
that is.
But the thing is, when you compare that to supercars as well, because supercars, you know, they used to have unique cars for each team. But 2023, for example, they had all the cars identical. It's similar situation. Like, I know, like, two different comparisons. Don't say it. So we've got F1 here, who, you know, have no limits on building their car, pretty much. Racing is more boring. Then you had supercars in 2023, where cars were completely identical, but they were too identical to the point where racing was boring.
And the problem with that year was the tyres. The cars weren't the
tyres
problem.
Were also,
the tyres were the biggest problem.
The tyres were
SVG
bad.
admitted we were just following everyone because everyone's wear was the same.
That too. But next year I'm excited. You know, no more ground effect, no more DRS. We've got the new overtake system similar to IndyCar now. A new engine. It's like slightly more modified. I think more hybrid power. I think so. And the cars are smaller. A lot of changes. Hopefully, will make the racing better. I'm a bit skeptical, but see what happens. Yeah. I just hope it's a better race. Hopefully it's better next year, because hopefully it's better next year, and hopefully McLaren don't do what they did this year and just ruin it. Because obviously, I'm sorry, I know I'm cutting you off here. Sorry.
That's fine. The
Okay, good.
the issue with all regulations in F1 is the first year of regulations are cool, and then the teams work out how to bypass the coolness and make it boring, and it just goes downhill. So, because I remember the
Yeah,
first year
exactly.
that these regulations came out, 2022, shaked up the whole field. It was unbelievable.
It literally shaked it up with the
Mercedes
accuracy.
went from the best to literally mid-table, and now they've just gotten better. But the
And then
racing since
McLaren.
but the racing since 2022, the season of 2022, even
The
though
regulations,
Verstappen, even though Verstappen won most of those races in 2022, the racing has gotten terrible, just god awful, to the point where great tracks are now being ridiculed for the making of the track. But I'm sorry, the track hasn't changed. Like Suzuka used to be one of the coolest tracks in the world. Now it's the most boring
It
because of
still is, in my
F1.
opinion.
It is.
But the
But
racing is gold. You can
F1
always predict what's going to happen.
F1's made it boring. It's made.
Yeah.
I've watched more MotoGP races this year than I have F1, purely based on the fact that it's more entertaining. And Marquez still won everything, but it's just more entertaining. He won it based on skill.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's my rant.
I think it's just a few
Since
regulations
then,
changes.
we got
have
another
to be
gift,
made,
by the way, from Matt.
Oh,
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, thanks, Matt. Much appreciated. It's cool to see. We haven't been. We have missed being on TikTok Live. It's been a long time. Last time, the main reason why I don't do it anymore is because my laptop died. But I think I've got a decent one now, or relatively decent. So maybe we might do some more live. Obviously, with pods, we'll do more. Obviously, because we absolutely missed it, and do apologise for being away for so long. But we're happy to be back. But huge congrats, I have to say it, to Lando Norris winning the Drivers' Championship. And I'm not a Lando fan by any means. You know how I was last night.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. Second of what you just said.
But I've thrown my biased hat off and put my journalism hat on. And I commend. Is that the right word? I don't know. Sure. I congratulate Lando for winning the title. All three drivers deserved it on their talent, but I didn't feel like Lando really earned it compared to Max and Oscar this year. But hey, is what it is. McLaren, I'm not a fan of their choices this year. I think they did definitely put Piastri in the back there. That's reality, but hey, is what it is. Keen for next year. Hopefully we get a decent result. Question is Max going to run number 3? Or is he going to run 33 or 69? There's a rumour spreading that he might choose 69.
You've made that rumour up.
No, I didn't. Next, anyway, so that's pretty much it. Let's go through some questions. Adam has joined here as well. So, hey, mate, how you going? What do you think Oscar does next year? Hopefully he's learnt a lot what's happened this year. He's learnt his sort of position in the team.
Can I answer?
Yes, Alex? No.
The answer is don't listen to anyone in the garage. Just drive your own race. Work out like Lewis did on how to be your own engineer, and just do it.
I think
don't listen to anyone.
I think he's learnt it's a massive mental game. Because from Monza, he has actually admitted that has affected him mentally when it comes to driving, and he has made mistakes from that. So Baku, remember, he crashed as well. He actually blamed that on the Monza drama, with the thing.
The Monza drama, all this drama you're talking about is McLaren being stupid. So
but you got to somehow put that aside.
Listen to anyone in the garage, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. He would come back hungrier.
And then what to do after his contract's up is leave.
Well put.
Just straight up leave, because this is just British bias.
Yeah, it's similar to Red Bull. Red Bull's going to always favour Max, which I feel sorry for Isaac joining there next year. He's actually being demoted to Red Bull.
It's so sad that Yuki's career has been ended by being
I'm just
promoted.
saying, if he stayed at
he said it apparently.
VCarb, whatever, he would have stayed on for next season.
He said that he could have got a podium with the VCarb car. That's so sad.
And the worst part is, I believe that.
Yeah, so do I. 100%.
Adam, where could Oscar end up? Gotta be honest, I would love to see him at Aston Martin. You know, we've got Adrian Newey as team principal next year. Really exciting to see what
Stroll
they do.
doesn't need to be here.
Alonso's not going to be... Yeah, but I'm more thinking Alonso realistically probably won't be there for much longer. Stroll will never leave because his dad's pretty boy. I don't know what he's... yeah, exactly. But yeah, I would love to see him in Aston Martin. I would love to see him in Red Bull. But again, you got the Max sort of dynamic there. But it'll be interesting to see. We did get a question earlier, didn't we? Yeah, Sassy Kiwi. Quick question. Supercars, who is the next big driver, the newbie, that we're going to watch out for? I've got a few. Kai Allen definitely has proven he could be one of them. Ryan Wood for sure. Hands down. I'm also... He's not in Supercars yet, but actually, before I say him, Job Stewart, after how he drove at Bathurst and the fact that he gets to be really intrigued to see how he does next season as a rookie for Erebus. But Jared Hughes, I think he will be the next big thing when he joins one day.
Okay.
I just got a vibe. He won the TA2 championship this year. He's fantastic with media. He teamed up with Craig Lowndes this year as well for the TA2. So I'm excited to see what his future holds. Alex, your thoughts?
Definitely Kai. Kai is just straight up stepped up. Like his teammate Matt Payne did, just came out of nowhere and just took over. So, yeah, definitely Kai is on my list. And after looking at their social media, I am a big fan of Penrose.
Yeah, we for context, we grabbed Depalmy because we watched... I forgot his name. We grabbed Depalmy from a local pizza shop, and I kid you not, for the whole half hour we were together, all I heard was like compilation of Penrite TikToks. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Get back here. Zach, who has the second Red Bull seat? Isaac Hadjar. So
he's
Isaac
very happy
will
about
be racing with Max. Yeah. In terms of V-Carb, we've got Liam Lawson, and I always forget.
Will he race with Max? I don't think so.
Who knows? Who knows?
What is racing?
It might be.
I don't know. Doesn't exist in F1.
Know. So F1 doesn't know what it is. Supercars are trying to work out the points that go with the racing. I don't know.
No, we're trying to work
in
out
terms
the
of
points.
V-Carb, their F2 Academy driver is going there.
Lindblad.
I forgot his name. That's it. There you go. So he'll be joining now.
Who's taken out 4
Curious
drivers
to see,
this year in F2. So that's good.
Yeah, okay. Well, curious to... Actually, speaking of F2, did you see FP1, who drove the Aston Martin? A driver, I forgot his first name, but his last name's Shields. A driver who's been in F2 for 2 years. He's done 23 races. He's got 0 points, but he's in an F1 car somehow.
Right.
Money talks there, doesn't it? Money talks. But I think we might start wrapping up this podcast now. If you want, Alex, if you've got any topics or anything you want to discuss, but I think we've done really well.
We've gone over time, but that's okay. It's been fun.
Yeah, no,
good return.
We really appreciate everyone who has joined in. This was sort of abrupt. We didn't really announce. We announced that we were doing a pod, but we didn't announce anything about live. So really appreciate everyone who's joined. We actually had a decent amount of numbers tonight. So thanks everyone for your questions and joining in. Thanks for the gifts and so forth. If you did miss this pod, be sure to check it out on YouTube and Spotify. I do plan on putting this up either tomorrow or Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. We'll post it on our socials and so forth. But yeah, stay tuned. If you like this more, make sure you follow, subscribe, because we'll love to do more pods heading into 2026 and beyond, and share our motorsport journey as well as we grow as a media brand, because we've got some cool stories from this year, and I'm sure we'll get plenty more next year as well. Learned some really cool things, met some cool people, went bowling with a Bathurst champion this year as well, which was also a bit surreal. And you won, actually.
I won,
actually.
Yeah, so...
I didn't. I think I came last.
Anyone from TFH watching? Sorry that I took your bowling crown. Whoops.
Yeah, no, they're not happy about that still. And neither am I for that fact. But no, that was a cool experience. So thanks to them for organising that. But yeah, thanks Sassy for joining. Hope you enjoyed. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the gift as well earlier. But yeah, thanks Alex for joining me. Really enjoyed being back in the pod booth, I guess. And hopefully one day we'll have a real booth we can use.
Yep.
But,
tomorrow,
stay
by
tuned.
the way, I
What are we doing tomorrow?
might jump on a live on TikTok because
breaking news.
Because I might not sleep tonight, to be honest. iRacing, bro. How have you not remembered?
Oh, of
Dude,
course.
how is your memory not good? If you're a sim racer and you use iRacing, take tomorrow off because Adelaide 500 track's coming to iRacing. And yes,
all I can see is 150 points, 75 points, 80 points, 90 points.
We're actually probably going to do like
around.
a 78 lap race, to be honest. Like, that's how long.
Do you know how much I'm looking forward to that?
We should do it.
With the AI cars, even.
We should do it.
You know?
So yeah,
I'll be down.
I might jump on tomorrow, and if you want to join on TikTok live just to chat, honestly, while I probably crash around that 500 track, join, and we'll do the same thing. Yeah, enjoy the day.
Yeah, but if you're watching on YouTube now and you've missed that date, don't worry, because stay tuned. I'm assuming we'll do it multiple times.
Yeah,
Alex seems very keen. So
very.
PlayStation Bathurst, you can't go wrong. Good old Gran Turismo. Alex doesn't like it for some reason, but he hasn't lived. You know, he doesn't really know how it is. I love
it's not a sim.
Gran Turismo, but I think she's also referring to the old supercar games back in the day, which I absolutely adore.
That was cool.
There you go. So, but anyway, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy the rest of your year, and we'll see you back for our next podcast. Bye for now.
Bye.